So the first thing you may notice is that I appear to have a new camera because I am now in widescreen! Look at all the space up here and up here. I actually have no idea whether I'm still on the camera because I have never filmed with this before, and yeah. The new camera is in fact for my birthday, which is in fact today. And I am in fact 20, which is in fact terrifying. I mean, for one, I've got to rename my blog, as in my Tumblr is currently called #Life of a Teenage Nerd. And I am no longer a teenage nerd. Which, like I say, is terrifying. Although, at the same time, I am still currently at uni, which I was thinking about this the other day, in anticipation of me turning 20, I was thinking, really, uni is just a place where, like, teenagers / young 20s people can go and be children without adult supervision and with alcohol normally. I mean, the whole like drinking alcohol thing doesn't really apply to me given that I don't drink alcohol, but the being able to like be childish and not really be judged for it is something that suits me quite a bit, I think. I mean, I know it's probably only going to be until the end of uni when I can act like a fool and no one will really care, but I'm gonna milk it while I can. So now that I've come to terms with the fact that I'm 20 now and therefore, like, terrifying things are ahead, I'm gonna talk about New Year's resolutions, which is exactly the same thing, terrifying things that are ahead. I thought I'd mention some of my New Year's resolutions, which, given that I don't do New Year's resolutions, is gonna be an interesting one. Essentially, while I haven't made, like, resolutions like lose weight or learn French or something like that, I've instead just decided to focus on being more productive this year, I think. I found an excellent sort of game / productive app, maybe? I don't know. I don't really know what to call it. It cropped up in a post on my dashboard on Tumblr and I thought I'd give it a go because, you know, it's a free online thing. But it's called Habit RPG and you start off as a character, you get a little character, you can customise them a bit, you can unlock more things to customise them, you have health, you have an experience bar. So basically, instead of making New Year's resolutions, I've just decided that I need to be probably more productive and found a way to help me do that. So I think that could go well because normally I don't make resolutions because I don't keep resolutions. However, the other thing I mentioned was reading at least a chapter of a book every day, which is something that I want to do because I read a disappointing amount of books last year in the whole of the year, and I don't even know why really, because when I look back there's plenty of time that I think I could have used to read, so that's made me think this year I want to read more books. So last year I could probably count on my hands the books that I read. I've definitely read Aragon because I'm now halfway through Eldest. I read The Hobbit again when it came out. Actually no, I think that was year before last. That's terrifying, that seems like not that long ago. Let's see, technically I started reading Scott Pilgrim last year, so there's 2 Scott Pilgrims. Neil Gaiman, The Ocean at the End of the Lane, I can see that on my bookshelf. I did read that over the summer. Okay, so maybe a bit more than 10, but still not a lot. So I'm setting myself the challenge this year of finishing 50 books in the year. And I say finishing specifically because there are books that I started last year but didn't finish, like Eldest, like How to Be a Woman, which I started last year and I'm still reading and I'm nearly finished. So that's probably going to be my first book that I finish out of the 50. I also started Watchmen last year, so I'm going to count that because it's like a complete graphic novel and it's fairly big. I'm going to count that as a book. I'm not going to count The Walking Dead, which I started reading, because that's less of a book. It's like, yeah, it's ongoing, I don't think it really counts, whereas Watchmen is finished and there's a whole story and I can read it and be done with it. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to be sort of tweeting and Tumblring when I finish books and things with the hashtag #finish50books if you want to follow me. So yeah. So that is at least some of the things that I have got planned for this year. So for the minute, happy birthday to me, goodbye to you, see you again next week, maybe.